Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about PETA once again because it seems like, I don't know, maybe once or twice a year they come along, they find something completely ridiculous to get upset about, they cherry pick some detail of something, they run with it, they make a big deal out of it, and realistically to most people, at least like people like me, more or less what they're doing is humiliating themselves and making their cause look completely ridiculous and making their organization look completely moronic. And you know, it's insane to see them kind of shoot themselves in the foot so often, but at this point, man, we've covered this so much that like it's not even surprising anymore, dude. Like I maybe the first few times I would have been really stunned, like, wow, you really found an issue out of this, you really got something out of this that's negative. I don't know how, but now, dude, it's like I kind of know what they're doing, and I feel like most people who know about these situations and have really been kind of paying attention to what PETA's been doing over the last few years, you kind of know what they're doing too. Essentially, it's gotten to the point that they as an organization are so ineffective at doing their job, they don't know how to do their job properly, they don't know how to get people on board by actually supporting a good cause and running the right brand reach and stuff like that, you know, doing things as an organization with vets and with pet owners and stuff to actually progress anything they're saying. They can't do any of that stuff, man. So what do? They take to social media campaigns to make fools out of themselves, and they basically clout chase on the internet, and they goad people into responding and talking about them. Even though it does nothing to really benefit their organization, it's not really helping them out in any measurable way, they're willing to clout chase and give their organizational status up to basically make fools out of themselves, because that's what you do, right? That's the kind of situation you got going on when you're one of the members over at PETA. So the newest target of PETA that has apparently fucking upset them at this point is God of War Ragnarok, which at this point is a Game of the Year contender. It's been universally acclaimed since it came out like a week ago, 2 weeks ago now maybe. A lot of people have been talking about it and hyping the game up, but apparently there is one boss in the game, I guess, like an area of the game that players, apparently PETA players only, I haven't heard anyone else complain about it, but these players have gotten upset about, right? PETA has taken issue with the depictions of animal violence in God of War Ragnarok, and one mid-game boss in particular. Earlier this week, the nonprofit took to social media to voice its displeasure with the game's treatment of a giant wolf-like creature from Norse mythology that players have to fight before reaching a certain location. Unlike PETA's recent protests against Kyle Rittenhouse's turkey shoot, I don't know what that is, the tone of its latest instance as a game of criticism basically suggests that the statement is meant to be more of a publicity stunt than a completely serious stand for animal rights. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is one of the most well-known animal rights organizations on the planet, not least because it's fairly up to date with the times, as evidenced by its long track record of successful politicization, I'm a moron, I can't talk, of video games. Over the years, PETA's use of gaming to highlight not just the human mistreatment of animals, but the very perception of what constitutes animal abuse has led to everything from meta protests of Animal Crossing New Horizons to attempts to remove cockfighting from Far Cry 6. Okay, man, so basically they're mad because there's an animal in the game that gets violated in some way. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, it's genuinely just fucking stupid, right? And they know it's stupid, that's why they're doing it. They're basically at this point, they're trying to bait everybody, right? And I guess it worked. They got me, right? I'm sitting here making a fucking YouTube video talking about this, so fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, whatever, you know. But like, I'm coming from a place of legitimate concern for PETA because like, their message isn't bad. Like, yeah, you shouldn't beat the fuck out of dogs. Like, maybe you should pet the cat, not kick it. Don't break chickens' necks for fun. I get it, you know, there's a lot of things they say that most people really do agree with, but their constant politicization of everything and like these random bullshit attacks that they do in order to try and gain relevancy in society is just fucking ridiculous. So to me, I feel like there's a couple things that would make a movement like this successful. One, you gotta have the message that everybody agrees with. And once again, I think they've got that part down. The vast majority of people realize that animal abuse is like a serious thing and you shouldn't do it, right? Number two, you need to have the appropriate optics for your brand. You know what I mean? You gotta not be a piece of shit organization that kills a bunch of shelter animals for whatever reason and then goad online like you're just, you know, oh, we're so morally righteous and we protect animals so well, which is something that PETA does. I mean, you can look that up. They love killing animals, man. For people who are all about ethical treatment of animals, PETA PETA might kill more animals than anyone ever. Like, Michael Vick got all this shit for what he did with his dog fighting rings and shit. But just think, PETA does the same thing. Well, maybe not the same thing. They're not out here drowning dogs that don't do good in fights and shit, but they're out here euthanizing and killing animals on a scale hundreds of times larger than that. But yet they want to play around like they're fucking heroes and like there's something to look up to, you know? Oh, we know how to treat animals right. Yeah, bullshit, dude. They're just going for these big ass publicity stunts, these big clout chasing moments so people like me make videos on it. And like from a place of concern, right? I'm worried that they're doing more damage for animal rights than they are actually succeeding in spreading a good message. Like, as the article states, PETA is one of the premier animal rights organizations. Like, they've got the name, they're one of the big guys on the block, I guess, but doing this corny shit and just acting like this just makes people think like, oh, hey, PETA's a bunch of fucking idiots. I don't really fuck with them and their message, right? Which is pretty insane, because like, you're fucking up a good cause. The little video clip they made alongside this social announcement here. Garm is apparently this big wolf boss in the middle of God of War Ragnarok. I don't think that's really too big of a spoiler. It's just the name of one of the bosses. So yeah, they're mad about that. That's what they're mad about, because you have to kill the boss in order to pass along, and so I guess you gotta kill a wolf, you know, in a fucking video game. I shouldn't have to sit here and explain to you why it's completely ridiculous, why this is stupid. I mean, we can all agree, I feel like, that a video game wolf is really not doing the same thing as killing a wolf or an animal or really anything in real life, you know? I don't think I need to explain why that's fucking stupid, why that's just not even something sensible, and why PETA relying on that to be sensible is ridiculous. I just, like, I really hope that someone at PETA is watching this video and, like, they really get it, man. Like, these campaigns, like this clout chasing shit you guys do, really isn't working. Like, this isn't the move, you know? This isn't making, just because people are talking about PETA and shitting on you guys for this doesn't mean that anything good is coming from that, dude. Like, imagine how many potential PETA volunteers there would be if they didn't constantly every 6 months see new articles talking about how PETA kills a shit ton of shelter animals per year, thousands of dogs and cats and whatnot a year, because people like me cover that shit because you do stuff like this. Imagine how many more PETA volunteers would be out there if they didn't think you were a bunch of clout chasing fucking morons. But instead of like spreading the right message and trying to do the right thing, it's just all about clout with these guys, man. They just want fucking attention. And it's so cringe, dude. It's so cringy to just see this shit go down the way that it does. Like, obviously they know that there's not going to be a fucking PETA mode added to the game where you don't have to hurt animals to play the game. They're not going to do that. It makes no fucking sense to put that in a game. It's not financially profitable. It costs them money. Most, if not all, players could really give a fuck less. The only people making a fuss about it is these weirdos at PETA who just want attention. Like, you know that's not going to happen, so why are you wasting your time? Oh, because we're getting our brand name out there, man. We're getting people to know that PETA exists. Yeah, and now everybody fucking hates you and everyone thinks that you're a bunch of goobers, right? Like, congratulations. If that was the brand message you were going for building, you're doing a really good job of it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this on the other hand. What if they're being dead fucking serious? Like, what if this is real? These people are actually this unhinged? Then at that point, man, there's no saving these people. Like, if you are so entrenched in your beliefs and like, you think that video game violence on an animal equates to real world violence or anything, I'm just gonna argue you're beyond saving. Like, nobody can talk you down from that fucking pedestal, man. Like, you're just not coming back to the real world at that point. And that's the problem. Like, these people are so unhinged, they don't even realize, man, like, that they're really just kind of fucking up their brand image and fucking up what people think. And like what's craziest about all of this, right, is like all of the time, effort, and resources that were spent on making this campaign for PETA to complain about fucking God of War Ragnarok. While all of that's going on, there's literally thousands of animals getting abused around the world. Like there's people beating the fuck out of cats right now, punting puppies in their face, shooting chickens with a bow and arrow as a fucking mini game in their backyard. Some dude's in a chicken processing facility right now just slamming them chickens on their fucking spinal cords. And instead of doing anything about any of those issues and like real world problems that could be solved, PETA is wasting time and money and shit on this. Like, yeah, tell me more about how you give a fuck about animals and about how you really care, and you guys are solving a real world problem here, man. Meanwhile, PETA's in the back of the fucking, you know, puppy shelter, just sticking that needle right in that doggy's neck, you know, shh, go to sleep. They're doing it, man. Like, I know it sounds fucked up, but they're doing it. Like, they're the people killing animals, you know? How many God of War Ragnarok players do you think went around fucking slamming puppies on their backs and shit? Versus how many dogs and cats do you think will get euthanized by PETA this year and deprived of their ability to live? Yeah, thousands. Literally thousands. So, I think I've made my point, dude. Like, I think I've really got the point across here. So, in essence, fuck PETA. You're annoying. You guys just ruin your own image and your own reputation. You make pointless fucking claims that you know aren't actionable really for anybody. And yeah, I think that says it all for me. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video here on the channel, this is Optimus, well, talking about PETA again and signing out.